Gentlemen, reverse ageism. We've all found ourselves in one of these positions where we've been speaking to someone who's older than us, we're making a good point about something, and all of a sudden we get hit with that seeming panacea for them of, you don't know what you're talking about, you're younger, you're not as old as you think you are. It can be one of the most annoying things for someone to say to you when you're trying to have a conversation with someone, because it undermines everything that you're saying without actually making a point of what it is that you're saying. It's essentially saying that any words that come out of your mouth are futile because you're a certain age, not actually because of the context of what it is that you're saying, the content. It can be so annoying, and so many people find themselves in a position where they have to deal with this because you're likely someone who is ahead of the curve and younger than a lot of people, but also striving towards better knowledge and really understanding things above your age. And with this, you get this parallel. You get this older than your age, but everyone still sees you for as young as you are sort of thing. It can be very difficult to deal with someone who says this in a conversation because really they are correct. You are younger than them. Maybe you don't know what you're talking about in their eyes, but one thing that I think is so critical to know on your own behalf before you say anything to this person is that just because someone has had more time to accumulate knowledge doesn't mean that they know more than you. Equally well, if someone has been here for a longer period of time than you have, they've had more time to forget what they've learned. They've had more exposure to other things as well. There's been more things to take them off in other directions. So first of all, find your base if anyone ever says this to you, that actually, just because you're younger than someone and just because someone else is older than you, doesn't mean that they know more than you. Someone only knows as much as they endeavour to find out. And if someone hasn't taken the time that you have taken to learn about something, then age is not a matter in this. Age is not the question. If someone has done more work towards something than you have, then that's all there is to it. You know more than they do on this topic. For instance, you would not opt for a 60-year-old who has never looked into a health book over a 30-year-old who is a brain surgeon if you wanted some brain surgery done, would you? No, of course you wouldn't. It's not a question of age, it's a question of knowledge. This is something that is important for you to remember in yourself because it ties into the next part of your master plan to prove your age. Don't respond in anger. Don't respond in turn. You should not instantly resort to some sort of aggressive comment like, oh, well, what's my age got to do with it? Because this in itself shows a level of immaturity that will be pounced on and it will make you feel inferior. What you would be much better to do, and something that I myself have done, is essentially say exactly what I've just said. You can quite feasibly say to someone, look, I appreciate your perspective on things, but I feel like I've actually looked into this and I feel like I've got something to say about it. I feel like my opinion and your opinion could be traded on this. It's very important when it comes to this sort of kind of point of contention, and this goes for all sorts of conversation, not just the specific one we're talking about here, that you don't let your anger rise above your intelligence. It's too easy to lose yourself in the annoyance that is brewing as a result of such ignorant comment and actually in turn discredit yourself. It's so key that whenever you speak to anyone about anything, that you remain in a state of respect and calm whenever you're talking about anything. It's so important to do this. And the reason equally well why this is so important to do is, one, you want to respect people. You just should be respectful to people, even if they don't agree with you. And two, it says so much about the words that you're saying. If you're someone who has an intelligent point and has something to say, and you say it in a respectful manner, then it gives immediate credence to what it is that you're actually talking about, because people that are intelligent are respectful. It is a respectful and intelligent, it's an intelligent trait to be respectful. That was what I was trying to say. And I think this is a bit of a niche topic, but it was something I was thinking about. I actually watched a video with Alex O'Connor and Peter Hitchens, and then I watched a podcast with Chris Williamson and Alex O'Connor, and a similar topic came up, and I thought it's actually something a lot of people will deal with, is you want to talk about something, you want to maybe get into a bit of tasty topic like the ethics of religion, or whether the nature-nurture argument or something. You want to talk about one of these topics, and you don't want to do so in a disrespectful way, but you do want to debate someone. You want to have a conversation about something, and we can be so easily deterred from doing this because of these comments that are made, just throwaway comments that are made with a perceived advantage. And equally well, I would add that a bit of Andrew Huberman-y type lesson being thrown down, that the brain is far more impressionable when it's younger, and in turn it actually learns at a much quicker rate than the older brain does. It actually takes the older brain a significant amount of time more than the younger brain to learn a topic, which means if you didn't learn what I'm learning at my age, then it's actually going to have taken you a much longer time to have even found out that this is a topic that you can comprehend. I would urge you to look into Andrew Huberman's videos, the 30-minute ones that he does on Thursdays, and look into that, because that's very interesting. But the point is, the younger mind is actually far more neuroplastic and thus impressionable in a good sense to learn things of value. So to say that someone is younger than you actually is almost pointing in the direction of their strength, because that youth is what makes someone so quick to learn things. So if you find yourself in one of these conversations, do not be deterred from continuing. Carry yourself with respect and make sure that your points are known for the content as opposed to you raising your voice to get yourself across. Be patient in conversation and make sure that you respect whoever it is that is across from you. Ultimately, what you want to do whenever you're talking to someone is find as much as you can from that conversation. And with this, if someone does spring the reverse ageism sort of thing on you, then make a point of that. Make a point of the fact that you are... It's a compliment. It's sort of a backhanded compliment, because essentially someone is saying that you are conveying yourself and making points that would be someone of a higher age's point. You know, though it is done in a sort of vindictive way of you don't know what you're talking about, it is basically saying that you're starting to touch, or at least on the shores, of what someone that is older than you would be talking about. So with that said, continue to probe, continue to conversate, and continue to be respectful to all the people that you talk to. If someone makes a bad point against you, deal with it respectfully, and your age does not mean that you're not intelligent.